Today on the Trent Out Loud Podcast. Okay, this segment just turned into like a psychology relationship segment, but whatever, I'm having fun with it. What up? It's your boy, Trent Out Loud, and I'm back with another episode. All right, it's Thursday morning. I'm in a great mood. I got a good show set up for you guys today. And of course, y'all already know we got one more day till the weekend is here. And it's going to be a good, and we're going to have nice weather this weekend in Montreal. I think Toronto too. All right, let's get on with the show. I got 3 lead stories for you today. The first lead story, we're going to follow up from a story that we had yesterday with a man that was getting beaten while he was arrested for the murder in New York, where he cut up this woman and put her in bags. So we're going to follow up on that. Then we're going to talk about Kevin Durant denying the list of him and why he wanted to be single. Then the third lead story, we're going to talk about Drake being the most streamed rapper still in June, even with all the Kendrick Lamar hate and diss. And our fourth lead story, I said 3, but we have 4 lead stories. Then we're going to close out with Kevin Hart's former friend suing him for $12 million. After lead stories are done, we're going to jump into quick news. We're going to talk about DDG. We're going to talk about Thee Stallion and Kanye West. Then we got question of the day. And then, of course, we're going to talk about soccer and Canada losing to Argentina in sports news. Y'all know what time it is. Turn your radios, TVs, or devices up. I'm about to start this show. Let's go. Man charged with concealment of a corpse after video seemingly showed him dragging a body of Miss Williams in a garbage bag. Follow-up story. All right, so 55-year-old man has been charged with concealing of a corpse following the murder of a 31-year-old woman. ABC News obtained footage showing a man in an electric wheelchair, presumed to be Irish, dragged what appears to be the same garbage bag that Williams' body was found in. As we previously reported, authorities found the lady's body wrapped in a sleeping bag and stuffed outside in garbage bags on New York City sidewalks. CBS reports that more charges will be on the horizon soon. So like I said yesterday, I really wanted to just follow up. Actually, you know what? Sorry, we have a little clip. Take a listen.
Police sources tell us he was out on parole for robbery and assault, and now he's charged with concealment of a corpse. Now, check out this exclusive video appearing to show Irish in his wheelchair carrying that suspicious-looking bag down the street. Inside the bag, the body of 31-year-old Yasmin Williams.
Oh, like I said yesterday, this is one of the craziest stories I've ever heard of. I guess now we know that that's why he was carried out in that kind of like that medical bed or gurney. He was in a wheelchair. How he shot her or murdered her, they still don't know. But for those of you who are not seeing the video I just played, I'll describe it for you. He's in a wheelchair, an electric wheelchair, and he's dragging this woman's body, Yasmin, and like it's like she was garbage and just left her at the side of the road. Like, this guy is obviously fully crazy. And to find out also, too, that he was out on parole just makes the whole system just look even more corrupt and just ridiculous out here. But this is still a crazy story. This is day 2 of this story. I feel like every day we're going to get a little bit more information. I think the next thing to uncover is, why did he kill her? How did he kill her? What is the story? What is the backstory behind this? Like, is he just crazy and this is what he does? Was he in a relationship with her? Was he going after her? Like, is this like a Jeffrey Dahmer thing? Like, and for my question is, how was he able to do all of these things in a wheelchair? You know what I mean? Like, I'm seriously like fascinated with this story. I definitely went down like a rabbit hole trying to find things. But of course, the police, the NYPD, this is an ongoing investigation, and they're still trying to figure stories out. So for those of you who have more information on this, please let me know. Send me an email, trentoutloud@cfqr600.com, DM me or comment below. But at least we know that, well, we knew yesterday that he was apprehended. He is arrested, and the police are investigating this story. But just fully crazy story out there. Anybody have any more information, please let me know, and I'll try to get it on to tomorrow's show. All right, in our second lead story, Kevin Durant explains why he's single and denies posting previous list of reasons on social media. All right, here's a quick clip. Do we have a write-up? Hold on, before you get to the clip, KD says he never posted the list of reasons why he's single on his IG account and clarifies that he's not in a relationship because he simply doesn't want to be. So maybe actually what I'll do is I'll read you guys the list and then we'll go to the clip. So I don't remember exactly when this was. I think it was a couple of months ago where allegedly Kevin Durant posted this, but now I think at the time he said he got hacked and it really wasn't him. I don't remember the exact reasons, but it did come up on his account. But here are the 9 reasons why KD says that he's single, but now is denying it. All right. So reason number 1 said, I'm a massive overthinker. Okay. I mean, let's just pretend these are his real reasons and let's discuss all of them. I don't think an overthinker should be a reason why you're not in a relationship, because if that is an issue, and there's a lot of people that are, I understand how that can give you anxiety, but all you do is, when you're on the first date or second date, you just let the person know that. And if somebody, with half of a heart is going to be like, oh, you're an overthinker, you have anxiety, you're anxious, it's okay, I got you, right? So that's one. Second thing is, I care too deeply. Okay, that doesn't even make sense. Anybody that wants to be with, well, actually, you know what? I shouldn't say that, because I think what he means by that is that he cares too deeply, so he's afraid to be hurt. But caring too deeply just means that you have to just be more cautious of the people who you care for, because if you care for a good person, you'll get rewarded if they care deeply too. All right. Okay. This segment just turned into like a psychology relationship segment, but whatever. I'm having fun with it. All right. The second reason is, I'm a safe type of guy. Message me when you get home. Have a good night type of guy. I'm a be safe type of guy. Message me when you get home. Have a good night type of guy. Okay. Nothing wrong with that. I don't even have a comment for that one. Number 4, I have so much energy. Okay. You know what? I'm starting to think maybe this list wasn't real, actually. All right. I have so much energy. Okay. Number 5, I give all to people who don't give me half back in return. I could see how that could be an issue. Again, if this list is true, I think maybe he's just probably with the wrong girls, and girls that probably were just for him, for his name, and the celebrity that he is. Number 6, I would do anything to make someone happy, even if it means I get hurt in the process. Okay, again, same thing. Sounds like he was hurt. Sounds like he has had a bad relationship, and now he's nervous to jump into another one. Number 7, I need reassurance all the time. Again, that's somebody who's an overthinker. Number 8, I'll push you away when I feel like the energy isn't reciprocated. No problem with that. I'm totally down for that. If we go on a date or a second date or third date, and by that time I'm feeling like the connection is not there and the same vibe and energy, actually, you know what? I'll end that even on the first date if I don't have vibe or energy. And the last one, number 9, is I love old school romance, and that's just not a thing in our generation. I totally don't agree with that. I do think that the old school romance may have been a little bit lost. I mean, just things are different because back in the day, they didn't have, Instagram and social media and FaceTime. So things, I think, seemed a little bit more quote unquote romantic because you had to do a lot more personable things, like actually call someone and speak on the phone or whatever. But I think today in this world, even though it's fast paced and there's a lot of technology, there's still other like cute things you could do to let somebody know that you're thinking about them or whatever. So yeah, I don't agree with that. But after reading through the list, I do maybe think that this may not have been a fully real list, but Kevin Durant's a really emotional guy. So I see why some people do believe it. All right, let's jump to the clip and hear what KD has to say.
No, I swear to you.
I really wrote that down.
Oh, you didn't write this?
You were trolling? Bro, I didn't. That was a fake account.
Bro.
I am way too player to write some shit down like that.
I'm way too playa to write some stuff like that. I don't know. That list sounds very emotional. And for him to just be like, if I feel like I'm too playa to write something like that. I feel like that's a little bit defensive. And maybe he was like high or like in his feelings and he put that out and regrets it now. I feel like the player thing is a little bit in defense. I think if it was natural, he would have been like, no, I didn't do it. And I would be like, I agree with some things on there, but some things just aren't me. If it was real or if it was me, I don't know. But you guys, let me know what you think. Do you think this is KD's real list or did he really get hacked and that was from a fake account? Let me know what you guys think. All right, this brings us to our third lead story. Drake was the most streamed rapper of June on Spotify with, listen to this, 1.2 billion streams across all credits. He keeps up his record of being the most streamed rapper every month so far this year. And then the caption is, it looks like Drake was the most streamed rapper in June on Spotify. Are you surprised? So, as y'all know, I am a big Drizzy fan, so I'm very, very happy to have stuck this in here to lead stories. I am a little bit surprised. I'll be completely honest with you. I know in May, he was, I think last time I heard about this, maybe like in April or May, that he was the most streamed artist on Spotify. I actually thought that he might slip a little because the number has gone down. This article didn't report this, but I think like in April, he had like 1.4 million and then May 1.3. So I'm like, oh, maybe it might dip down and somebody else might get in the number one spot. But he's competing with himself at that time, at this time. So although that his streams are down, he's so far ahead of everybody else that even if his streams are going down by 100,000 each month, he's still the most streamed rapper this year, every month in a row. To give you guys context, Drake has a billion, let's say billion, 1.2 or whatever. Kendrick has 50 million. So he's not even close, right? Anyways, or is it 50 million or 500 million? Something. It's half. Whatever the number is, he's half of Drake. Having said that, just to give a little update, I have been following on Instagram this account. Can't remember the name right now, but they're always giving like updates on what's going on with Kendrick and Drake. And he said something interesting that he's hearing a lot of chatter out there that people are starting to get sick of Not Like Us. And some people are thinking that Kendrick is actually milking the song too much. First, it came out. Okay, cool. Then it was played everywhere, which is not necessarily Kendrick's fault. But then you had the Juneteenth concert. He played the song 6 times during the concert. It was broadcasted all over Amazon. Everybody talked about it for a week. Then last week, Independence Day, last week, Thursday, he put out the video for Not Like Us. Then everybody talked about it. So people are starting to get A, sick of the song, and B, sick of Kendrick milking the moment. Now, if this was, to be fair, if this was on the flip side and this was Drake, I don't know if I would be complaining that Drake is milking the moment. But then I actually thought about something. When Drake had back-to-back and it was playing all the time, every day, he performed it at OVO Fest, 100%. He didn't perform it 6 times. He did have like Meek Mill memes in the back of him, but he performed it one time at OVO, and he didn't make a video for back-to-back. He ended up winning a Grammy, and yes, everybody knows that song, that track back-to-back, but technically he didn't milk it like how Kendrick is. So I don't know what you guys want to think from that, but it looks like Kendrick really is milking it, and people are starting to get sick of it. Kendrick has never had a moment like this, so of course he's going to milk it. Coming from a business standpoint and from a money standpoint, I mean, he's going to make millions of dollars just off of that YouTube video. It's probably at 40-50 million right now. Right now, it's probably going to end off at like 100 million. So that's, $2-3 million in revenue that he's making, plus the streaming or whatever. He'll probably walk away making $15 to $20 million off of Not Like Us. So, if you're in Kendrick's shoes, never having a moment like this, you got to grab that moment when you can. But what I'm gonna like to see, what I would like to see coming out of this is, what's the next Kendrick Lamar album gonna sound like? How is he gonna come out with it? Is it gonna be more commercial, or is it gonna be more, traditional Kendrick, where he's not really going after the radio play? What's the taste of this number one, and the taste of this limelight, and the taste of this money? What's that going to do? I'm very interested. And then, of course, I'm very interested to see if Drake could still make it the rest of the year, streaming, his streaming numbers staying up. And of course, if he drops an album, what's that going to do? I will close off with this. My niece and nephews were over at my house, I think it was yesterday or the day before, and we're outside, and they were like, yo, could we, pass the Uggs, right? So my niece puts on her phone and she starts playing music, Sexy Red, this, whatever, blah, blah. And then she plays Not Like Us. I'm like, yo, nah, you can't play Not Like Us in this house. No. So it was just a joke, whatever. But then after that, because they were like, oh, we love that song. We love that song. After that, another song came on, and then they played Drake. Then another song, then they played Drake. They played like 4 Drake songs. And I'm like, yo, I thought you guys were Team Kendrick. They're like, yeah, we just like that song, but it doesn't mean that we don't want to hear Drake. And I think that's why Drake is still going to be the most streamed rapper, because when you're outside and you're playing music, you're going to go to Drake's catalog because he has so much good music. So yes, this was maybe like, a little, notch down for Drake, and he maybe took a little bit of the steam off of him, but now more than ever, after I've seen this, like the past 2 months have gone by, I do not think it's over for Drake. I don't think these lies and these salacious allegations are going to hurt him. But we will see. Anyways, that was my update. I haven't talked about Drake and Kendrick in so long, so that was my little moment to talk to you guys and let you know how I feel, and let you all know what's going on with Kendrick and Drake. Let me know what you guys think. Send me an email, comment below, or send me a DM. Are you still Team Kendrick? Are you still Team Drake? Or you just listen to both and enjoy the music? Let me know. All right, this brings us to our 4th and final lead story. Kevin Hart's former friend, JT Jackson, is suing Kevin for $12 million for false extortion claims that ultimately ruined his career, and for failing to honor their statement contract after he was cleared. All right. We have exclusively learned that Kevin Hart's former friend, JT Jackson, is suing the comedian for allegedly lying on him and submitting false information to the DA office in order to falsely accuse him of attempting to extort him. Jackson is claiming that Kevin staged the entire thing to advance his career while ruining Jackson's career in the process. Back in 2021, Jackson was cleared of all extortion claim after Kevin Hart accused him of attempting to extort him with a sex tape. Jackson had allegedly recorded Hart cheating on his wife without permission and was allegedly using the video to extort him for money. After a lengthy court battle, Hart and Jackson decided to settle the lawsuit with a contract that stated Hart was supposed to clear Jackson's name with a post, but according to the lawsuit, Hart failed to do so. In fact, he reportedly made it worse and ruined Jackson's career in the process. Jackson's lawsuit also claims that during the initial lawsuit, Kevin allegedly sent his legal team a falsified document that was eventually sent to the DA's office and used during the lawsuit. According to the lawsuit, forensic analyst by 2 independent experts indicates that the email at the center of the case claimed to have been sent April 27, 2018, was actually created on May 17, 2019, more than a year after the alleged extortion attempt. Turns out that the document that Hart claimed from Jackson to extort him was really created on Microsoft Word. Jackson's 2018 arrest and subsequent prosecution were all based on falsified documents. Wow. Okay, that's huge. Jackson is suing for breach of contract, fraud, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. Keep in mind, Kevin also attempted to sue Tasha K for extortion, but given this new information, that might be a facade. Wow. All right. So I remember this. I hope you guys do too. Remember when that tape with Kevin he was in Vegas in a car with a woman, And he said that I think he came out, this was 3 years ago, so sorry if I don't remember all the details, but he came out and admitted it himself. And he said, somebody was trying to extort me, so I just want to admit it before it comes out. And I guess he was trying to sue that person for extortion, which is JT Jackson. And JT Jackson was like, hey, this was not me. Kevin is trying to blame this on me to make himself look good. They went to court. He won. And Kevin was supposed to do some stuff. Kevin didn't do that stuff. And more importantly is that email thread where the forensic analyst said this was a false email and actually was created on Microsoft Word. So it looks like if this is true, it looks like Kevin Hart could lose some money, $12 million, which is not much to Kevin Hart. He has it. But I think more importantly, it looks like Kevin was the liar and it wasn't true. So this story just leaked yesterday. It was an exclusive from Neighborhood Talk. So shout out to Neighborhood Talk. That's where I got the story from. I don't know if this is going to blow up all over again. This whole scandal with Kevin Hart, that was really bad for him. Hopefully, it doesn't. I like Kevin Hart, but maybe he'll, call up JT, settle something and kind of quiet things before they explode again. But I will let y'all know, but just know y'all heard it first here. This hasn't even really hit the blogs yet. This is a Trent Out Loud. I haven't heard any other podcast talk about this. This is a Trent Out Loud podcast exclusive by way of Neighborhood Talk. Shout out Neighborhood Talk. All right, this brings us to quick news. Ring my bell. DDG responds to those criticizing him for getting his son's hair lined up at just 6 months old. DDG said folks are not about to tell him what to do with his own son. He responded to those criticizing for getting baby Halo lined up at 6 months old. All right, if you guys remember, I think it was like last week, DDG was on his Instagram or whatever, on his Twitter, and he got his son a little lineup. Didn't get his full haircut, but just cut up the baby hairs, and people went wild. Like, you're not supposed to be doing that to a baby. He's too young, blah, blah, blah. Like, the funny thing about it is, like, you see the barber doing everything live right there, and the baby's not cut, the baby's not crying, he's not bleeding, nothing, and people are still freaking out. Like, yo, what are you talking about? Here's a little clip from DDG.
People got something to say because I got my son a lineup at 6 months. Listen, yeah, worry about your own kids. He came out of my.
Yeah, I fully agree with him. Unless you're putting the child in any sort of endangerment, that's my child. He came out of me. Like, yo, you can't tell me what to do to my child unless I'm putting him in danger, unless I'm doing something to endanger him or welfare. A lot of people think that like it's bad luck to cut the baby's hair before they're one, et cetera, et cetera. Listen, that's DDG's kid. Let him do what he wants with him. He's not hurting the child. All right, this brings us to our second quick story. This one should have actually been in speed news. It's literally 2 seconds. Megan Thee Stallion was on Family Feud yesterday, and there's so many clips online about her. And this one was really funny. Steve Harvey asked her, tell me something that is curvy. Listen to Megan Thee Stallion's answer. Take a listen.
Name something that might be curvy.
Me. Oh, about
Yo, that was so instinctively, yeah, me. And then she's like, no, sorry, a body. For those of you who don't see it, Steve Harvey starts walking around the stage clapping or whatever. Anyways, y'all know that Megan Thee Stallion's nickname is the hot girl coach. She is always in the gym. She's always eating right. She is very adamant about her body. And yes, she is very curvy. So, and she loves to show herself off and show, and especially that she's natural, right? So, shout out to Megan Thee Stallion. That was amazing. There is another clip that actually I don't have, but that was in the speed round, but when they were in like the normal rounds, one of the questions was, what was it again? Tell me something that you've done to your partner's feet. And it was like, yo, we all know Megan Thee Stallion got shot in her foot. Who at Family Feud decided to ask her a question about feet? You know what I mean? And they're like, good thing at least the question wasn't like, tell us something that has happened to your feet or whatever. But you should have no question to have feet and have Megan Thee Stallion have to answer that. So anyways, it was really funny. She looked like she had a good time. I'm happy to see Megan out. I mean, she's still on her tour with Glorilla, but I'm a big fan. I know everybody, not everybody, but I know Megan has like a lot of haters, especially like, you know, a lot of Canadians, Montreal's and Toronto. It's like, yo, free Tory Lanez, and shout out to Tory and everything too. But I'm still a Megan fan, man. I really like Megan. So shout out to Megan. All right, this brings us to our third and final speed story. I would like to gloat a little bit before I even say the headline and just say, I told y'all so. Here is the headline. Kanye West retirement scare relieved as a marketing ploy for Rich the Kid's album release. Now, for those of you who watch this show daily or listen to this show daily, what did I say yesterday when I told you guys, I think it was a lead story or a quick story about Kanye West had a text message to Rich the Kid that said, I'm leaving music. I quit music. There's nothing left for me to do, whatever. And what did I say? I said, this is impossible. Kanye West always does this. And the only thing I was wrong about was the timing. I said, I bet you within the next week, Kanye West is going to come out with something. There's going to be a shoe. There's going to be a sock. There's going to be music. And what is happening? Rich the Kid is releasing an album and Kanye West has a part of it. I don't know if he's the executive producer or he's on some tracks or whatever. This is Kanye West's marketing machine. This is what he does. I told you all that back. Our Art Basel in Miami. Kanye West has a little rant. He has something he pops up, gets people talking about him, and he's like, oh, you guys want to buy this hat? Oh, and then a Super Bowl commercial. Hey, everything on Yeezy.com is $20. Hey, I got an album coming out with me and Ty Dolla $ign. Like, this is Kanye West's MO. That's why I have a hard time believing this bipolar depression and all of that stuff. And y'all know me. I talk about that in my second book. I am a huge mental health advocate. And I'm not saying he is not bipolar. I'm not saying that he doesn't have any mental health issues. But it just so happens that Kanye West always has a mental health episode or breakdown when he wants to sell something. That's all I want to say. And I also just want to just remind y'all that I'm good at what I do, because I said 1 week and less than 24 hours, Kanye West had something to promote. So I'll let your boy. All right, this brings us to question of the day. How do you handle disagreements or conflicts in a relationship? Okay, I don't know how this podcast ended up being like a relationship episode, but whatever. All right, I am his strawberry said, remain silent. Don't speak in the heat of the moment. Couples will say hurtful things to each other when they're angry and then regret it later or often apologize later. Some words cannot be retracted, forgiven, and certainly not forgotten once said. All right, so I didn't like the starting, but I like the ending. I don't like the remain silent, but then I understand where she was coming from. I agree with that. I would say maybe like sometimes when you talk in the heat of the moment and you are a little bit more passionate, a little bit more honesty and truth comes out, which is really what you want to get to the heart of if you're in a relationship, right? So what I would say to that, instead of saying remaining silent, is just speak, but just also just remain calm and don't let your temper get the best of you, and don't let the those things that you're going to regret later on come about. But still pretty decent advice. All right. Melissa ENT said, I leave the house, go on a long walk. By the time I return, my husband and the kids have cleaned the house and are waiting for me at the door with open arms. Because just in 2 or 3 hours, they'll realize life sucks without me. All right, whatever. The city boy Sizzle said, by listening to understand, not listening to rebuttal. Okay, that's very, 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 very good advice. I must say that I'm not great at that, trying to get better. I do listen to understand. I do a mix because I definitely want to understand. I love words. I love communication. I think I'm a good communicator. I think I'm a good understander. I'll even say back to somebody when we're having a disagreement or whatever's going on. I'll even say what they're saying back to me in other words, so that they could get they could get confirmation that I understand what they're saying. I'll be like, so what you're saying is this, da, 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 right? And they're like, yes, you understand me. But I definitely always like to rebuttal and have a point, right? So maybe sometimes you should just listen, understand, and let things slide. But hey, we're all a work in progress, right? Next advice is don't use words that cut deep. That's exactly what I said, which is not easy because sometimes if somebody hurts you or whatever, it's hard. But I think that's really the key, right? My gun sweetness said, first learn which battles to fight. It's the communication and honesty. Then it's communication and honesty. That's a really good one. I'm trying to get better at that too. Not every battle needs to be fought, and some things you could just let slide. That's a very, very good answer. Rena said, I like to talk, but everybody is not an effective communicator. A lot of people just talk to respond and never to understand the other person. All right, we talked about that already. Simone _818 said, I get my point across, and then we are intimate and move on. She used another word. All right. I love Sarah said, I prefer to talk ish out, but my kid's father prefers to knock ish out. Nevertheless, I'm single. Okay. I don't know why you would write that on a public forum. Dress Ninja said, leave them alone till they realize they're wrong. And that's not the best way, but sometimes that's pretty good too. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say right away, but after the communication, sometimes it's like, all right, okay, cool. And then the next day they'll come back and be like, all right, I see what you're saying. So yeah, sometimes you got to just let that, go. All right, I'll read 2 more. Hold on, let's get a good one. All right, so Honeybrook said, honestly, sometimes I'm the problem, so I'm just here to read the comments for improvement. All right, that's really good. All right, we'll leave it off there because I'm already short on time. Good answers today, guys. Good relationship talk. Maybe I should start a whole relationship podcast, but let me know what your answers are to the question, how do you resolve conflict or disagreements in your relationship? Send me an email, trentoutloud@cfqr600.com. Comment below or send me a DM at Exclucity Media or at Trent Out Loud on all social platforms. All right, this brings us to sports news. All right, yesterday, Argentina beat Canada. Well, there's 2 parts to this. So Drake bet $300,000 on Canada. Yeah, I'll just read it to you. Argentina took a shot at Drake after he lost a $300,000 bet on Canada to beat them in the semifinals, using a rap rival Kendrick Lamar's song to send him a message. So Argentina put on their Instagram, they're not like us, and they put pictures of the team winning, which is fair. That's funny. I actually put it on Twitter too. They not like us, not like us, not. Oh, sorry, they said not like us, not with us. I am not really following all that soccer stuff that's going on. I actually called somebody. I'm like, what is all that noise going on? They're like, yeah, we're at a soccer party. So I know Canada did lose, but what the person actually told me is that just because they lost, it doesn't mean that they're out. And I think Canada now has a chance to win bronze, or maybe they will win bronze. And there's something going on. Like I said, I'm sorry, I'm not following this too much, but I know Messi now has a chance to win gold or win everything. I don't know what the medals are, whatever. But anyway, I'm sure most of you know what's going on out there. But the point of the story is that Drake bet with Canada. Bet that Canada would win, and he lost $200,000. To me, I think that's just more Drake, like just getting Canada on his side with all that Kendrick and Drake beef going on. So he was probably just letting us know he was riding for Canada and didn't really actually think he was going to win the money. That's just what I'm thinking. Anyways, all right, that is the show. Thanks for kicking with me. I will see you guys tomorrow, Friday. Before I go, just want to remind you the many ways that you could watch the Trent Out Loud podcast. If you are watching this on YouTube or you're listening to this show on podcast platforms, please try to check me out Monday through Friday from 11 to 12 on CFQR600.com. You can listen from any device anywhere in the world, or 600 AM on your radio stations if you're in the Montreal area. We do play the Trent Out Loud podcast from 11 to 12. We mix it in with 90s and 2000s hip hop and R&B. It's a really fun way to listen to the show and get some music throughout your day. So try to check us out, 11 to 12, cfqr600.com. Vice versa, if you're used to listening to this online or on your radio stations in Montreal and you can't always catch the show from 11 to 12 because it's not on demand, don't worry. You can always go to YouTube or you can go to podcast platforms and catch the show. We do upload daily and the show is there on demand. Just go to your desired platform, type in Trent Out Loud. The show will pop up. Don't forget to hit the follow and subscribe button so you can be notified every time that we upload a new episode. And lastly, for those of you who like to watch with video, not only YouTube, but now Spotify supports video. So you could listen and watch at the same time. That's it. Thank you so much for the support. Thanks for the views, the likes, the comments. I really appreciate y'all. And I will see you tomorrow. Peace. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy, Trent Out Loud. Peace.